This amazing lady is going to ask a couple of questions of the CBC. I love her flag.
Well, I am Canada.
All right. Hi, CBC. How you doing, guys? This lady has a couple of questions for you. Is it okay if we ask you a couple of questions? No? Okay, you go ahead, ask the question, see if they answer.
What's your opinion on Trudeau giving to me the $600 million?
Oh, guys, don't hide your faces. Come on.
Guys, do you love your country or you care about your paycheck? Do you care about your kids? Till October 21st, I know what you guys gonna do. You're gonna endorse Trudeau. But the question is, do you have kids and do you care about your kids? Or it's all about your paycheck?
No answer? I guess $600 million buys silence.
Yeah, but freedom of speech, freedom of press. Why are you guys supposed to be friendly? You're the news, right? It's not like we're like following you to your car, filming your plate number. We just want to ask you a question, and you, lady, you're supposed to be friendly, right? I just want to ask you, what's your opinion on saying that endorsing Trudeau before the election? Look, what you're doing to your logo. That's a CBC. Is that Communist Broadcasting Corporation? Is that?
It is.
Is Trudeau communist?
Very much so.
Okay. So
Very,
what
very
about
much so.
$600 million?
Well, $600 million is what he's given to all kinds of media, not just the CBC, but Toronto Star, Torstar Media, those guys, they all got it. And they've done that specifically so that these guys will act as the propaganda arm of the Liberal Party. See, this is the problem with the CBC. I don't think everyone knows about the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. So I'll tell you what, I'll step in here. Kevin J. Johnston, freedomreport.ca. This is the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation behind me right now. She's got the camera turned on to film me, which is great. The CBC is called the Communist Broadcasting Corporation. It is the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. The problem is these guys that stand here behind me, they get roughly, I'm just going to walk away. Okay, they get roughly $1.4 billion a year in tax money to produce liberal propaganda. They are incapable of putting any show in the last 10 years in the top 20 of the ratings in Canada, and our population in Canada is almost smaller than California. So we have, and doesn't want to talk. All right. So anyway, that's fine. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation they really are as crooked and criminal as they come. These guys have nothing to offer. Oh, am I in front of me?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so I am.
When the meeting is over, you'll have a clear view.
Okay, there's the camera.
We're just killing time now.
Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, yeah. Justin Trudeau and all his nonsense. You know, Justin Trudeau is guilty of high treason. And all of you should be ashamed of yourselves for taking our money. It's not Justin's money. Yeah. It's our money. It's tax dollars money that's going to all of you at the CBC so that you guys can continue to lie about Maxime Bernier and lie about the rebel.media and lie about Canadian patriots in general. I mean, I don't know what it is about the CBC where you guys hate. You hate Christians so much. You hate Hindus. You hate Buddhists. You hate Canada. You hate it all. You cannot wait to come out and bother Canadian citizens. Oh, there we go. More CBC people. Like none of you are reporting on any kind of real news whatsoever. You guys come out and lie. What you did tonight is you got in with Antifa and you filmed Antifa assaulting good Christian people and good conservative people, but what you'll do is you'll cut it up so that it looks like the conservative side of the argument did something wrong, which the conservative side of the argument did not do. In fact, the conservative side of the argument was standing behind police, and police had to arrest members of Antifa tonight, which I don't think you filmed. And I certainly don't think that any of you are going to talk about. I'm wondering why it is that you can't answer any of my questions, guys. These are very simple questions. Yeah. Is the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation on the take from the Liberal Party to try to help jihadi Justin Trudeau win the next election? Yeah.
But $600 million is Canadian taxpayers' money, guys. It's not from his pocket. It's not from Trudeau's pocket.
No, it's not.
It's Canadian taxpayers' money.
Right. So that's the question I have for the CBC is how much of the $600 million that Justin Trudeau is handing out to the media, how much went to you, ma'am? And how much went to the two of you over there? And do you feel any sense of shame whatsoever that tax dollars are being given to you when Canadians are on the streets hungry, when people are losing their homes, when veterans have absolutely nowhere to go except to sleep on the streets? You're here in in brand new vans with terribly expensive camera gear, taking tax dollars away from those who need it. Do you feel one bit bad about that? Could I get just a yes or a no? Would that be okay? No. Okay, so we're not going to get an answer. CBC has chosen not. Yeah, they're choosing not to answer my questions, but perhaps even drive away. I want to thank the Hamilton Police for being here. It's okay, sir. There'll be no problems. If you ask me to stop, I will, just so you know. Because our policy here at freedomreport.ca is we cooperate with police 100% of the time. Anyway, I'm just curious about the CBC. The only answer I really want here is, how do you feel about $600 million being handed to the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation and other left-wing media outlets like it, when we have veterans who have lost body parts for our country that can't even find a meal or a place to live, and you're out here in fancy dresses and high-heeled shoes and taking our money and getting raises? We know that you're getting raises at CBC. Do any of you feel one bit bad about that? Do any of you feel like you've done anything wrong in this particular instance? Would there be any comment that I could get from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation in reference to the fact that you are doing everything you can to help jihadi Justin Trudeau win the next election? I mean, you're laughing. It's really too bad that you find this funny, but could I get a single comment from the CBC, please? Just one. One comment. How do you feel about taking tax dollars away from Canadians to help the Liberal Party win the next election? Okay.
Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
All right. So we're not going to follow them, everybody. We're going to let them go into the building. That's the CBC. They've chosen now not to stand outside. They've chosen not to answer my questions. The questions were simple. How do you feel about stolen money? Really? Like, how do you feel about it? Regardless, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation have always done the same thing. They come out, they film a couple things, and they'll cut it down into the sound bites that they're looking for. It's a CNN tactic as well. So they will try to find someone who says the F word at a very inopportune time, and they'll make it seem like that's how the whole evening went, when it could be just someone telling a story about getting, I don't know, a puck in the shin pad and it hurt. You know what I mean? That's how it works. And you've seen the CBC now, where they just turn tail, they go to the car, and they run. They won't answer any questions of any kind.
Because they want their paycheck.
Oh, they do. Well, they get a paycheck regardless.
They can lose their job if they talk to you.
Well, they probably, I don't know if they would lose their job because their union at the CBC is pretty good. I know that when it comes time for staff cuts, which is not very often at the CBC, typically the staff there get between 2 and 4 years severance pay. It is crazy how much money they get just to be laid off or to be fired. And that is one of the biggest problems I've got with the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
What about drug kids? What CBC drug kids?
So,
what about drug kids?
What, drug kids?
CBC. CBC is showing that transgender coming to school reading little kids stories.
Oh, yes.
Shame.
Yes.
Our kids should study religion, math, science, not sex education. What's wrong with you guys? Do you care about your kids?
Well, that's a good point. You know, we have the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation putting out specials where they're telling us that 8-year-old boys dressing up as girls and then performing in strip joints is a good thing. I disagree implicitly. In fact, I disagree so much that I have unfortunately been charged criminally for hate speech because I disagree with that type of a thought process. I mean, I am dead set against wife beating. I'm dead set against the sexualization of children. I am dead set against the terrible economy that we have. Everything that I'm against, it seems that the Liberal Party is for. And the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, is telling Canadians that what they're pushing, which is all evil stuff, is good for them. And what I'm saying is bad for them. That's the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, but you saw it for yourself firsthand. They can't handle answering questions. They can't handle anything that's real. Kevin J. Johnston, freedomreport.ca.